One of the things we should talk about while we're here is some of the things that we're doing together. And we've talked about, we've been collaborating now for several months on a test bed in New Jersey. And there the idea goes to the heart of a lot of the points that we've been talking about here about making it very easy to turn up a new customer quickly for you, so the multi-tenancy issue. For the customer, making sure that they get the resources that they in fact are paying for or need for their applications. Provide a level of modicum of security, one of the areas in which we have been very, very focused in integrating into our Velos platform. And then number 4 is providing this notion of a data center anywhere. The notion that it really shouldn't matter whether a client locates in data center X or data center Y, if we can provide a location independence, obviously built to particular performance requirements of an application, but provide the flexibility to relocate those applications or those clients, give that flexibility to you. That's really one of the main aims of from our side for the particular project. But maybe you want to talk about it a little bit from the consumer side or the enterprise side.
Sure. I mean, it really gives the enterprise a chance to kick the tires on the solution and actually see the difference that using this type of solution will make in that environment. And quite frankly, the capability of being able to test out a preconceived architecture and put it onto this test bed really becomes a value add tool where you can suss out optimally what this architecture should look like. So as they can come into the testbed environment and actually connect to a multi-node network that's been put in place that's running a separate control plane component and allows enterprises to come in and see in real time how actual applications will operate within that data center environment and communicate between one another. And that can be done across connect away over a pair of fiber or over copper with other potential partners that will allow for a better exchange of traffic. Well, that's really the best way, I think, for enterprises to truly understand the power of having the SDN in the multi-tenant data center. And I think that you providing that foundation, that platform to test that on, really makes a difference when they come in and see the data center and realize that aha moment of, okay, ultimately, here's this enablement site that I can go to that has a wide variety of services that I ultimately need, third-party services that I just don't want to run in-house. What's the best way to get those things connected? Physically speaking, things like cross-connects make a lot of sense. Logically speaking, however, there's a lot of intelligence that needs to happen at the application layer to ensure the optimization across your network and the border network for where those other partners exist. So I think that kind of circling back again, it's become a very good sales tool for both of our parties to be able to come in and showcase that type of infrastructure. And then ultimately what that does is it starts to have an impactful change on things like reference architecture. And this is a conversation we're having about kind of inside the data center, traffic flowing outside the data center as well. Yes. And that's really kind of where things continue to evolve, because suddenly you're looking at off-net. How do I get to off-net? And what's the best way for me to replicate data into other locations? I think an interesting read that I had not too long ago, there was a white paper published by Vijay Gill from Microsoft and a few of his colleagues, where they talked about the idea of replicating data center assets or data center applications and ways of finding efficiencies between taking it from a service market, for example, like Seattle, and replicating it to somewhere like Washington, D.C. Being able to transfer those loads over with high efficiency and utilizing a pipe without degrading the application performance of mission critical applications. So again, we get to the whole time offset component of it.
Absolutely.
But in addition to that, really the prioritization of certain types of traffic with enough headroom to be able to make routing changes on a wide area network basis. So not only does it become a conversation around enterprises figuring out how to highly utilize and find efficiency efficiency in the network. It even boils down to some of the largest companies in the world that are standing up these cloud-based applications, and how they're going to do that in a efficient way that's going to be good for their end users.